stunning. All the lads and lasses there, all the smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races. We went to bleeding races.
Oh, it's back through Bartes!
1962 on a summer's afternoon, we took the bus from Bambras and she was heavy laden. Where we went along Collinwood Street, that's on the road to Bladen. Whoa, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were stunning. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gunning along the Scotswood Road to see the Bladen races.
Good evening, welcome back to another video. What's going on again? John Sinclair TV back again. I've got Pete with us. Good evening to you, Pete.
Evening to you, John. Hope you well.
I'm fine, not very bad. Just having a lovely weekend with Jules, and she's amazing. And been together for 2.5 months, and yeah, she's there. So how's you?
All good, all good. Buzzing where we on the table. But I'm good that we can't watch Newcastle until December now.
Absolutely. So we just got to wait for Tony as well. He'll be here very, very soon. And guys, if you like the video, like what you see, give it a like, give it a subscribe as well. And if you go into PewDiePie Locks as well, and on his YouTube and his Twitter account, it'd be amazing. And Tony will be here very, very soon. When he does, then he have fun to say as well. So give us a breakdown on Saturday's game here. Yesterday's game 1-0 to Newcastle. What a win, Pete. What a win.
Absolutely. We were confident that we were going to beat these. We really were. I mean, this Chelsea team is so poor at the moment. They are really are. That was a massive advantage here to us. And we took the game to them from start to the finish. They barely offered anything until about the 60th minute when Gallagher had that chance. And that was the only one they really had. But we just took control of that game. As I just mentioned, what a goal from Joe Willock. I mean, the link-up play between him and Miggy is just fantastic. Willock does the rest. Bang, Bob's your uncle. Top corner, no chance for Mendy of saving that. And he was superb yesterday. Willock, he gets better and better every single game now for me. He really is getting better for this club now, which is absolutely fantastic to see.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, right, with Joe Willock, I mean, I didn't think he was going to get into the England squad anywhere because it's not because of his performances, but it's just better players in front of him as well, like Maddison. You got players like Calvin Phillips, and he does play. Declan Rice. You know, I didn't think he was going to get in front of these guys anyway, to be fair, but did he left it too late, or is he good enough to be in the Euros next year?
Well, we'll wait and see. Maybe Southgate just hasn't considered looking at him just yet at the moment. But you never know. His time could come one day. It could come one day, whether it's next year or a couple of years' time. You never know. I think Southgate's just not really looked at him carefully yet to make that decision about if going to England so far.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, you look at the other performances as well, and our back four again is absolutely outstanding. They put him in a cracking safe and Conor Gallagher, like you said. Apart from that, he hasn't done anything at all whatsoever. And you got the fullback, you got Kim Trippier and Dan Burn, outstanding. Sven Botman, yet again, absolutely fantastic. Fabian Scheer, my God, this guy's playing the best football of his career. What's he, 30 years old, right? And the Swiss national team, I'm going to think, you know what? If he does it with Newcastle, he's going to be strong for the Swiss national team as well. But let's be real, right? I mean, that Dan Burns tackle, right? And he took out, who did he took out? Was it Havertz he took out, did he?
It was one. I
Havertz
forgot who it was. I forgot it was exactly, but it was what a great tackle it was.
I tell you what, though, he got booked for that as well, by the way, for that tackle. He right him out, by the way. Do you know what I mean? But the referee could have been a lot worse. He could have been a different card another day. But I tell you something, that was one. He nearly right. If he did get banned, he would have got a 3-game ban. But wow, what can I say, man? He had a great game. Dan Burn, fullback. The midfield, I mean, Sean Longstaff again. this is a guy who's proved us wrong every single week. He's covered every inch of that grass every time. He's not the quickest, I'm not going to lie. I mean, there's some of the times in the first half I thought the game passed the van a little bit, but is it his best performance? Probably not. Is he getting better? Yes, he is. But what he does, he gives you 110% every time.
Yeah, he does. I mean, I thought I was happy with that performance. Really happy with his performance yesterday. To be honest, I don't think anyone put a foot wrong yesterday at all. No, you can't see anyone put a foot wrong in the game at all yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely, Pete. Still, if anyone's not seeing Tony, he'll be on very, very soon. So don't worry about that as well. I've got the first comment this way by Lynn McTaff. Big up to Lynn, by the way. Listen to Jules' recent interviews. He's feeling the best he's felt for a long time. I just hoping that he back to his days where he had him on loan from Arsenal, a goal-scoring machine. Lynn, well said. Don't know what it is, right? I mean, Joe Willock, right? Let's be real, right? Was he 23 years old? I mean, he's got years ahead of him, by the way, if you see what I mean. But one thing I'm going to say, right, about Joe Willock, right? I mean, I say in a couple of years' time, he'll be in the Euros. Let's be real, because he's got to be in it. Because at the end of the day, do want to get attacking midfielder. That's what you need. Gareth Southgate doesn't play attacking football anyway, but a new manager could do. But this guy, I mean, he is back to his best speed, no doubt about it, mate.
Absolutely, yes. He's starting to score goals. That's 2 goals he scored in 2 games now, which is brilliant. And the goal he scored yesterday was outstanding, not to mention his work rate is definitely been up there now this season. He's really cool on the ball. He's taking players on. No one can handle him at times as well. And there'll be more goals coming from him. We can see there'll be more goals coming from him. That's what he's all about in terms of being a box-to-box midfielder, Joe Willock. And that's why I've said he's getting better at this club. And I can see more goals. They're going to come. They are going to come.
Absolutely. And this is why he's in the first team as well. I mean, Joe Willock will not get dropped because I'm telling you, he is just get better and better and better. And it is what it is. But but it's just one of those things, Pete. I mean, he is just class. I mean, he doesn't get the credit that he deserves. But look, at the end of the day, one thing I'm going to say about Joe Willock, keep going, Joe, because I think you're brilliant. You really are. And I've got one from Andy. Big up to Andy. Paul Sully finished on watching numbers should rise quickly. Thank you so much indeed. I hope it does. Fingers crossed. Watch Sky Football Video Premiership team I've seen so far. 5 Toon players. Pope, Byrne, Trips, Miggy, and Bruno. Wow. If that is true from Andy, that is so amazing because it just goes to show how far Newcastle United has come.
Absolutely, yes. Look at the way they're stepping up now. Trippier is a leader. Byrne makes him, because of his size, does make himself look big on that pitch, definitely. Miggy, look at the way he's transformed as well. And Bruno has just been a breath of fresh air in that midfield. Yeah, absolutely. I think some other players should go in there as well. Botman, I think Joe Linton should be included as well. Look at the way he has transformed as well. Not to mention his performance was exceptional again yesterday. So
absolutely. Just go over the constable Toon. Big up to I think even in Unai Emery. I could call him Emery for now on, you know what I mean? Because that could be Emery's brother, so Emery's dad, you just never know. Botman gets mentioned also. Not sure why they chose Arteta over Eddie as manager, especially with the team choices. Exactly. Pete, what's that Archer singing Sweet Carolina in the background on your video?
Which one was that one?
That was yesterday, I presume.
Well, he didn't come on the fan cam, so you'll have to tell us which one it is so I can think about it.
Fair enough. There's no Liverpool players and couldn't go for Bujo over KDB. I mean, De Bruyne is the best midfielder in the country. That shout out, dude. I cannot lie. Big up to Tony. How are you today, mate? Hope you're okay, man.
Yeah, not too bad. Sorry, I got on a bit later. I was just sorting a few things out.
Like, was fun forward.
That's absolutely fine.
Sorry what you were doing there, Pete.
It's trying. I don't know why it's just wobbling a little bit.
Thought it was your drinks cabinet falling on you.
No, was it? No, it's just me. Green screen lights in front of us.
Yeah, we'd have to save that though. You couldn't let that go, could you?
Oh God.
Oh, it's amazing. Tony, welcome. So to come show. Reception is awesome, great. Give us a bit of breakdown on yesterday's Newcastle's big win against a very poor Chelsea team.
Yeah, well, when I saw the team lineup when I'd done the warm-up show yesterday, I said this is a weak team. We can beat these. You know, they had the young kid at the left back, Lewis Hall. And I sort of thought, yeah, okay. Havertz on the bench, Aubameyang on the bench. Why not? Let's go for it. And you know, first half we played well. You know, Willock had a drive into the box and Nelly got pulled down by Azpilicueta. So, you know, and then Sean Longstaff had that chance, which if he'd kept it down, it probably would have ended up in the back of the net. And I think he knew that as well. The minute he went over the bar, you could see on his face he was like disappointed because he knew he should have put that in the back of the net. And then second half came, and then obviously second half, we thought ESM was going to come on because we're seeing him training up, running around, and they said, "Oh, the commentaries team on Sky said, oh, he's ready to come on, I think." And then he didn't come on, but Chelsea made a substitution and brought Pulisic on. Mm-hmm. And then Chelsea sort of played a little bit more on the front foot. And then it wasn't till 67 minutes when the ball broke and Trippier passed on to Aimiron. Aimiron then headed it over Koulibaly, who, by the way, is still a poor defender, John. He really is crap. I mean, he got a yellow card yesterday. I mean, that guy is rubbish, John. I'm sorry, but he is. I mean, Aimiron got past him with ease. The way he just headed that ball over the top of him, you know. And then obviously, as he was running with the ball, Willock then come in and hit that lovely curling shot in the corner and past Mendy. No chance of the goal. But the good thing about the goal was, it was the way he done it. He didn't just put his laces through it. He didn't just ram at it. He just placed it carefully. And if you caress the ball easily and carefully, more times than enough, it'll end up in the back of the net. And that's exactly where it ended up. And so then we were 1-up. And then I think it was about 75 minutes when they had done that triple substitution with Havertz, Ziyech came on, and Cucurella. And Aubameyang didn't even get off the bench because they'd made the 5 subs by then, because Loftus-Cheek had to go off first half. So the 5 subs were already made. And he didn't look a happy bloke on the bench, to be honest. I mean, obviously it was the ground, so you wouldn't have seen it, but the Sky cameras panned on him. And if a face looked like Thunder and could tell us a lot of stories, then looking at Aubameyang, he was not a happy man at all yesterday. But they came on. Havertz had a go, but nothing really, didn't get past Pope. And then, you know, but just before we scored that goal, you know, Pope pulled off that save against Conor Gallagher. It was another player I don't highly rate, John. I don't rate Gallagher. I don't rate Mason Mount. They shouldn't even be anywhere near the England team, them two. They're poor. And Gallagher, for me, was just too much whinging at the referee all the time.
Yeah, I've seen that.
You know? And then, but the problem is, the Sky commentators, I think it was Rob Hawthorne and Andy Hinchcliffe, two of them both said, "Oh, well, that was an easy save for Pope because it was just routine." And I thought, hang on, are you watching the same game as I'm watching? Because I thought that was a terrific save to get across. And they said, well, Pope knew what he was doing, so he went across and just stopped it. And I thought, okay, then. So that's what you're going to say then, are you? You're going to not give Pope credit for the save that he's actually made, you know? Because it's, again, we're upsetting the big six. That's why Sky don't like mentioning this. Because they're too far up the backsides of this big six.
Yeah.
But at the end of the game ended, and I thought the Chelsea players were an absolute disgrace to the Premier League. And this is where my rant's going to come in now. Havertz went to fight with Dan Burn. And the problem, I'll tell you why he was fighting with Dan Burn, because the minute he come on, Dan Burn was an easier every minute. Because Dan Burn wanted to get him back for what he did last season with the elbow. And that's the problem. Havertz reacted at the end because he knew he had had enough of Dan Burn. And he wanted to fight with Dan Burn. And then it just got stupid because he joined in, Cucurella joined in. All the Chelsea coach went up to Dan Burn and had a go at Burn. Well, Burn's like 6'6", and this guy's like, 5'10". And Dan Burn was giving him the verbals and the pointing back. And, players had to come in and separate them too, because it just flared up. It was like Chelsea were the bad losers. They didn't like losing. And Havertz kicked it all off by a typical German going in. Let's start it. Let's get it going. And it's exactly what he did. And I really do hope the FA come down and clamp hard down on Chelsea, because they were an utter disgrace after that game. There should be some sort of retribution towards them. And then as for Graham Potter, well, that manager, I'm sorry, he's gone down in my estimation a lot. Just because he now thinks he's at Chelsea, a big club, he can start shouting off like a big team manager now. Well, I'm sorry, Graham Potter, keep your mouth shut, because he said the only reason Newcastle's in the top 3, he says, because they play 1 game a week. We play 3 a week. So why do you think Newcastle are where they are? And I thought, you know what, Potter, shut your mouth. You haven't got a clue what you're talking about. We have played 3 games in a week and we got 7 points out of it. You're just like Conte, whinging. Now that Potter thinks, because he's a big-time manager now, that he can go around shouting his head off now and saying, oh, well, yeah, because we got to play more games. Well, you've got a squad there, haven't you? You've got a bigger squad than what we've got. So what's his problem?
Do you know what it is, right? I mean, it's just jealousy. It's just jealousy. First it was Antonio Conte. They got beat off first. Whinge. Now it's Graham Potter. Whinge. Do you know what I mean? Give us some credit. Or maybe go and tell your players, right, that it didn't clap to the Chelsea fans after the game.
No, they
Sure,
didn't
appreciation they didn't at all. Not one of them. They just walked off. Do you know what I mean? Shame on them, man. Shame on them. Do you know what I mean? Because I tell you something, right? Those Chelsea fans who knew who they are, Professor Saish didn't acknowledge him. He's one of them, man. Do you know what I mean? Pulisic didn't clap to him as well. I tell you something now, right? I went a long way, and none of us players didn't clap to us. I'll be peed off. Do you know what I mean? I really would. But or the Newcastle players win, lose, or draw, they all come to us and applaud us off. It's as simple as that. And back
the other thing as well, John, is at the end of the game. Now, obviously, they've seen nothing on yellow cards, but the referee had his book open as if he was going to write stuff down again for the players that started. But I've seen nothing more about that. But I do know during the game, like closing stage of the second half, Eddie Howe did get the fourth official. The fourth official went Eddie Howe and told him, because you probably wouldn't have seen that, John, because you're on the other end. Pete may have seen it, but, but Eddie Howe come out of his technical area and was actually standing on the pitch in injury time. And the fourth official come up and giving Eddie Howe the pointing of the fingers and telling him to get back in his technical area. And then Eddie Howe crouched back out again on the pitch. So Eddie Howe got a couple of tickings off from the fourth official over encroaching the pitch while the game's still in play. But you can't blame Eddie Howe for doing that.
No.
We've took another scalp, John. So the big 6, so this is Liverpool, Chelsea. We haven't played Arsenal yet. So we played 5 of them. So we played Tottenham, 1. Chelsea, 1. Man U, a draw.
Man City, a draw.
We lost to Liverpool. Sorry, John?
Yeah, Man City, a draw. 2 Manchester clubs.
Yeah, Man City, a draw. And we lost to Liverpool in controversial circumstances.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we are tearing through them. And they're frightened of this now. They are frightened, John. They are terrified. Because we are now 2 points off City. Had we beat Bournemouth and Palace, we would have been sitting second.
Yeah.
but we are not contenders for the title.
No.
No, we're not, John. No.
Not yet.
We won't win the
Probably
league. I'm sorry, John. We won't. No, not this season.
not this season. I definitely, I can't see it because I think Arsenal will be stronger. I think City will be stronger. I think Spurs, Liverpool, and Man United will be stronger as well. But we should see what happens. The commentary were totally with us yesterday. They went as far as the 7 minutes was an abuse of power by the referee. I'm going to come to the referee later on, by the way, because he was absolutely shocking. And I feel for Arsenal fans as well. You know, I can understand why else Dan Potts, Brave TV, don't want to see this ref ever again. And boys, lucky you yesterday. You're looking good. That's an Andy. Good evening to Gareth and hope you're okay. I think it was Trippier to Burn, Joe Linton, and then to Aimiron before Willock scored. Lovely goal, by the way. That young Chelsea lad, Hall, was class yesterday. What a grafter he is. He's a really good young lad. He's going to come fantastic. Pope made it look routine. That's how good he is. That's an Andy. Handbags at the end. If that was hockey or Aussie rules, they would have been blood and guts. Exactly. Big up to Alec Coffee again. Havertz put up early after the final whistle. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Arsenal he is.
He is, Pete, isn't he?
Absolute clown. I can't say on here, by the way. I cannot. Big up to Joseph. Hope you're okay with the lads. John's that a John the ball plug behind you? Well, it's not my home. I'm up in Newcastle. And don't tell Paul, please. Don't tell Paul. Nah. I didn't look at it, man, but it's a lovely hoose father. Some Chelsea fans I know said that their first team were divided in the dressing room and the players don't interact with each other because they have their groups. Well, that is true. That is not good at all whatsoever. It's really not good at all. Lascelles' yellow was brilliant, interfering with the foe in. Top man earned the club's captaincy.
Yeah.
Pete, Jamal Lascelles, wow, got booked.
I've seen that, yes, and I was thinking, wow, but it was right down the other end of where I sit. But yeah, I seen that as well. Thinking, wow, what's going on there? But yeah, I heard what happened after the whistle went. So
the Lascelles yellow card, what it was Cucurella was to take a throw in, and Lascelles got in front of him and was stopping him getting a quick throw in taken, and so Cucurella just sort of stopped and complained to the referee, and the referee come over and showed Jamal Lascelles the yellow card. Because even the Sky commentator said, there you go, Lascelles got a yellow card because he's interfering, even though he's not even on the field of play. But because of Lascelles trying to stop the quick throw-in, he got a yellow card for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is tactics, absolutely tactics there. Yeah. So big up to Lascelles, by the way.
It's called taking one for the team, John. That's what it's called.
Exactly. Totally agree. I think Chelsea would have done the same, to be fair. So there you are. Let's go on to Annie as well. What happens to the first day? Yeah, that's true. I get what you mean. I'm not gonna go further than that, by the way. I'm sorry, but Andy, I get what you mean. The referee, totally. It was an absolute shocker yesterday. He was poor, absolutely poor. And there's a lot of fouls. That handball on the Sugar half time by I think it was Shalaba. That was definitely handball. No question about it. That was a handball all day long, and the referee didn't even go to VAR for it. It just seems to me this referee sounds a bit arrogant. Because I tell you something, happened to us, that would have been a pen.
Yeah, the referee weren't great yesterday, John, by the way. I mean, first of all, I just want to say it wasn't a penalty, John, because it did go to VAR. It did get checked by VAR. And the reason it's not given as a penalty, which I know it's a stupid reason, but it should be, but because Shalaba actually has his hand on the floor and he's using his hand as support on the floor, the ball's ricocheted off his arm and went out. So they said technically, because his hand's touching the pitch, it's not a handball, it's not in an unnatural position. So that's what they said it was on with the VAR. So that's why VAR quickly checked it and said no penalty and carried on and got the corner instead. So And I can sort of see the point of that. I mean, because if you're going down as a defender to tackle, or if you're falling to the floor, what's your natural reaction? To put your hand on the floor to stop yourself falling, in it? And that's what he did. If his hand had been off the floor, then it might have been a different thing, you know, like the Ashley Young one, when he had his hand up in the air. That's an unnatural position. So that's why that penalty didn't get given. But I thought the referee was really poor. I mean, some of his decision making to me was a bit like, you know, where's he getting this from? And, you know, I don't think he was absolutely fantastic, to be fair. I thought he was absolutely terrible at ref yesterday. And, I mean, I'm still trying to work out now where the 7 minutes injury time came from, because when it came on the board, I suddenly sat there thinking at home, I'm saying, right, hang on. So we've had how many substitutions? How long have they took? And the injuries in the second half, how long were the players down for? The way I could total it was probably at least 5 minutes, but not 7 minutes. You know, it's just, but that referee was an absolute waste of space yesterday. And I said on my show last night, I don't want to ever see him refereeing another match of ours again. And I don't think he's a Premier League referee. He needs to drop to the Championship at least, because Robert Jones is a shocking referee. Not only that, he's a Liverpool fan as well.
Yeah.
So he's a red. And I just think the guy was just useless, to be fair. And I just don't want to see him refereeing again, because I thought he was awful. And then I went back to thinking, these Arsenal fans that have said to me, this referee was poor against Southampton for them. Now I can see why they were raging about him, because he's not good enough. The Premier League need a big shake-up in refereeing, by the way, and hopefully when Howard Webb comes in December, that shake-up happens sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and if they don't, then I'm sorry. I mean, it'll take about another, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years before we ever see a referee officiating World Cups and European Championships as well, because there will be an absolute disaster. The best league in the world, really? I don't know where they got that from. Hey ho. Some of the younger players have shown more passion, play better football than the so-called superstars. I thought Horse good yesterday, but Garnacho and Man United look quite dangerous. He scored a winning goal right in the end. Could have done with a point, by the way, but he scored at the end, which makes it put pressure on us, really. Willock was way better than Gallagher and Mount, who are both going to the World Cup, Pete. I think, for me, I mean, Joe Willock, those ones should be going, not Gallagher and Mount, really.
Yeah, I mean, Mount looked poor this season. He was very poor yesterday. I don't think he was there half the time. I thought he was very anonymous. Gallagher, I could kind of understand, but Mount's been well off form for Chelsea. That is not the base amount I've seen play. No way that is the base amount I've seen play.
No, I have to agree there. I have to agree, because you know what it is, right? It's just they just pick it by names. That's all it is, because they play for a London club, and they just don't want to pick a team players from Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? But like I said, you look at Ivan Toney yesterday, scored twice against Man City, didn't get picked for the World Cup, and he's running the match. It just goes to show that you pick players on form. You don't pick players by name. It's as simple as that. Mm-hmm. So, and let's go to player ratings, by the way, right? I know time's going to be short later, and you know what to do. We go through the players 1 to 11, plus the subs, the manager, and the referee. And if you want to know about the referee, I suggest you get a cup of coffee, because this guy is going to get something brutal. So let's start with you, Pete. Nick Paul, we're going to start with. Look, he didn't have a lot to do, right? But that save was Gallagher was absolutely massive before he scored the first goal. And he's getting more confident with his feet in every game, playing out for the back well. And you know what? This is why he's going to the World Cup.
Absolutely is. Yeah, you're right. He didn't have a lot to do, did he, apart from that save from Gallagher, because Chelsea were just tosh yesterday. Absolute tosh. So, but I'll give Paul Benet because of that save he pulled off. Fantastic save it was. Really fantastic save it was.
Absolutely. Let's go on to the back four. We're going to go with Kieran Trippier. Tony, how many would you give him there? Again, this guy, he is so consistent every single week. Knows when to tackle, in recent game, this guy's a true leader off and on the pitch. And I tell you something, right? He commanded his troops, commanded the players to be in that correct position. Kieran Trippier, for me, I say he's the best right back in the country. By a country mile, this guy's a winner. He's a champion of Atletico Madrid. And I tell you something, right? Half-term reporters got to do that short amount need around 6:45. I tell you what, this guy is going to get high ratings. And what do you think, Tony? Kieran Trippier?
Yeah, I mean, he had a great game again yesterday when he lost the ball and he chased back and got it back off Pulisic. That was terrific defending at its best. And then he helped set that. He was involved in the goal. Even if he wasn't directly involved, but he was involved in it with his passing. But he just showed his true leadership again yesterday, and that's why he's the captain of the team at the moment, and will be club captain the minute Lascelles walks out that door, which is hopefully not too far away. But yeah, I mean, he's absolutely been brilliant yesterday, and so I'm going to say a 9 for Trippier. That's all I can give him, a 9.
9 out of 10. Cool. Coffee gives Nick Pope a 9. Clueless, thanks so much for coming. Remember, mate. I appreciate that. Thank you so much indeed. And how many members I've got, but thank you very much indeed, mate. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed. A 10 from Trippier. Great result, lads. Boss Chelsea around the park. Are we the lads? That's in cruel lad. And great win. Here's your man of the match, John. And don't say Gamacho. Wow. Okay, what are you saying?
Talking about Foxy, he said last night on my show last night, he said, I saw a fan in at the Newcastle ground had a red top on. He said, I just wondered if John had his Man U top on underneath his jacket.
Wow.
And I said, I'll bring that one up.
Thank you very much indeed.
That was Foxy saying that, yeah.
I think you got the wrong name. It should be Macy, by the way. Big up to Mason. Welcome back to the UK. I hope you had a fantastic time in America. And I hope you had a wonderful time. So, got one from Trippier over the wall, King Trippier over the wall. Thank you very much indeed. Let's go on to the other side. We're talking about Don Muhammad Ali Burn. And I tell you what, if you chin Havertz, I tell you something, right? He would have got a 10 out of 10 just for that. Go on, Pete.
Oh, absolutely. I think Dan Bird's getting better in that role now. What I noticed yesterday, he was starting to push a lot more forward as well, which was good. He tried to got a couple of balls, crosses in the box. One we thought that the possible handball, but it wasn't. But he's getting really well with that position, Dan Burn, as well. And no one likes coming up against this guy, do they? Particularly Havertz, because if anyone tried to pick a fight with him, I think they'll be on the floor within seconds. So here you are. But that tackle he put in, which I thought was great as well. I think it's got to be a 9 for Dan Burn.
Yeah, I like Dan Burn, right? But there's how do I put it? Like, listen, that tackle, the crunch tackle, really got bought us all. That was absolutely peached. You know what I mean? I mean, look. At the end of the day, you can't fault his offensive display. Yes, I know he's going forward a lot, but sometimes he seems to run out of ideas, in my opinion. But look, at the end of the day, so far, I think Dan had a wonderful game. A wonderful game. So big up to Dan Burn, by the way. And let's go on to Foxy's. How was the atmosphere in the stadium, John? Seemed one of the best of recent times. It's amazing. One of the cracking stadium.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yep.
And Dan Burn made a tremendous block to stop Kovacic. Yes, he did. And I changed my score, Burn for 10, but put in Kai Arthurs in his place. Big up to David. Dan Burn should be going to the World Cup. Southgate stubbornness inflates me that here, England's lost a again. Exactly. Totally agree. So let's go on to the centre halves. I'm going to give Tony, I'm going to give his Sven Botman again. I mean, look, one thing I'm going to say, he put his spot on the line yesterday. He went off injured. He won all one in the air and all his ground duels as well. And let me tell you something, right? When it comes to big game players, right, his tackling is immense. And to me, right, this is what hacks us off, right? He's not being picked for the World Cup, right? Yet, he's putting performances in Newcastle. Lewis Van Gaal, I mean, Jack lost this guy played at all whatsoever. For me, he should have gone to the World Cup. Yeah? Go on, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, John. I mean, the guy was immense yesterday. Yes, he might have had a poor game at Southampton. And this is what I said last night. I said, but the thing is, if you're a great player, or you're going to become a great player, then if you have one bad game, you then follow that game up with a brilliant game. And that's exactly what he did. So he had his few brilliant games, 7 or 8 brilliant games or whatever it was. And then he had that one bad game. Now he's back again. But he was absolutely tremendous yesterday. Everything he went into, tackles, everything, and yeah, he ended up going off injured. But but that guy put his body on the line yesterday. Everything. He was absolutely brilliant yesterday, and for me, he's close to being man of the match. But I know who my man of the match is, but it ain't Botman. But I'll tell you what, he was very, very close. There was just, put this way, it was like the toss of a coin to give who man of the match, because he was absolutely fantastic. But for me, I give Botman a 10.
Wow. Big up the Sven Botman, by the way. Big him up. Do you agree, Pete? Botman, 10?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Totally agree.
Big up for Sven Botman. That's what I'm saying. And he's not even made the World Cup squad. That just beats me, doesn't it? It really beats us, you know what I mean? But it benefits us. Don't benefit Holland, by the way. And it's all good to see it. Let's have a look at some conference. Botman, and Rash. I tell you what, he's class. Botman for 10, Shah 10, Botman 9 for Shah was immense considering he took a heavy hit earlier on. Botman's not going to the World Cup, but Vogt Vigos is. Koulibaly said, "Where's Miggy? I cannot find him. I cannot see him. I hear him heading the ball 50 times. I cannot see him." How do you rate Koulibaly, Pete?
He's not done in the Premier League, has he? That's the thing. He's just not got it in the Premier League yet. I thought fine and class in Serie A, though, but Premier League is a completely different level, and it's not worked out for him at all.
How many marks did he give him, Pete?
Who, Koulibaly?
Koulibaly so far.
Probably 2 or 3 at the most.
Go on, Tony. How many marks did you give him?
Well, yesterday's game, I thought he was very poor, so I'd say 3 yesterday.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But just say one thing about Botman.
Yeah.
Out of the 6 long balls he'd done, 4 of them were successful. That ain't bad.
Not bad for a young kid. I'm convinced this guy can be one of the best Premiership defenders in our history. And I tell you what, the kid's only 22. Let's be real. And he didn't cost 75 million quid. Simple as that. Botman's like...
Sorry, John. Do you think the reason he's not going to the World Cup, do you think he sort of damaged his chances when he pulled out the Holland squad to stay with us to concentrate on the club? I mean, do you think that was in Van Gaal's mind that he thought, hang on, I'm not really sure? And maybe Van Gaal's just thinking, I've got these defenders who I'm used to. I'm going to take them with me. And then maybe it's like for the next Euros that Botman gets in. But do you think he has damaged himself from the under-21s? I mean, we've seen that with England players in the past when they've not wanted to play for the under-21s, and then they don't get picked for the national side. So I don't know. I mean, it might be totally different. It might not even be down to that. It might just be the fact that Van Gaal's got his trusted defenders there that he likes at the moment, that he knows so well, where Botman hasn't really played at senior level, as he's played mostly under 21s.
It could be, but at the end of the day, right? I mean, look, he wants to be in the first team for Newcastle, right? Let's be real, yeah. But I don't think it could be that, But I think he's got better defense. He's got better defenders like Virgil van Dijk, Neva Aki, Davy Blaine, Stefan de Vrij as well, Denzel Dumfries, or his name, Teo Malacia. Yeah, Jordan Timber as well. Do you know what I mean? Jeremy Frimpong, Mattis de Ligt, yeah? He's picked to 9 defenders there? 9 defenders he's picked up, yeah? I just don't even for Sven Botman. So obviously it goes to that. Good luck to him. That's all I can say. But his time will come, Tony. His time will definitely come. Do you know what I mean? But Van Dijk over Botman, who's been on form this season? Botman all day long. Botman's been fantastic. He really has. Do you know what I mean? So, well, that's up to him, isn't it? That's up to him. There's nothing I can do about it. It benefits us. He'll be nice and fit when he comes against Leicester City. So, yeah. So, big up. Sven Botman, if you didn't get picked, there you go. I wanted to go, but there you go. Botman's like a football equivalent to Drago Verocchi. Solis as a rock. Have I missed any comments out, by the way? No, I haven't. Van Gaal had a good players he worked with for a while now. He's not going to start playing new players in a World Cup that's never played for the national team before. Botman time will come, and I'm sure, absolutely. Big up to Cenk, by the way. Get in. Chrissy B, not putting Botman in the Dutch squad goes to show how out of touch Louis Van Gaal is. Wow. You know what I mean? Not putting Botman in the Dutch squad goes to show, yeah, I've read that. Van Dijk over Botman. Botman's class this season. Van Gaal likes a fine wine and a mince pie. Goodbye. I like that one. Good evening to John, Tony Peak, David to Gary as well. Off to get ready for Athletic Club Azera in the Copa del Rey later, lads, and enjoy the match, mate. Let's go swiftly on to Fabian Schär, Pete. I thought he had a good game yesterday.
I think he's a 10 as well for me. He's just a machine at the back, and he took a bit of a knock, but he just really managed to continue for the rest of the game without it bothering him at all. And wow, he's just so good at the back now, Fabian Schär. He's just, look at the way he's just come under Eddie Howe now. He's just absolutely amazing. I think I'm going to give Fabian Schär a 10 as well.
Big up for Fabian Schär. Every time you get a 10, it's going to be a big up for Fabian Schär. Do you know what I mean? But I think he had a wonderful game yesterday. Look, every time he passes Spotman at the percentage of defence, they have not lost a game. And he said in a post-match interview, struggling for words, sums his own turnaround since the Boost era pretty well. Do you know what it is, right? Fabian Schär, what a defender that guy is, I'm telling you. You know what I mean? How much we worth today? It'd probably be about between 15 and 20 million quid today, and the rest as well. And the rest, because that guy is absolutely brilliant. 10 out of 10 Van like coffee. Man's even lads hope he well, mate. Absolutely great, man. And let's go on to the midfield. I'm going to go with Joe Willock. I mean, what a performance yesterday. He's back to his best. Lynn Mataf said in a DM today that if he gets back to his former, that long reverse, we could go a long, long way. Let's be real. Conor Gallagher in the World Cup, yeah. Mason Mount in the World Cup, yeah. Both poor yesterday. Joe Willock scored a fantastic goal yesterday of a curl in the top corner, yeah. I think they picked the wrong player from the midfield, Tony.
Yeah, maybe they have, John. I mean, but, you know, I think Joe Willock's time for the will come in England team. I believe that firmly. I thought he was absolutely terrific yesterday. He was full of running, energy. You know, he's got an engine on him. The way he got in the box when he took on Azpilicueta nearly pulled him down in the box. So, you know, he could have had a penalty there. But I thought he was absolutely terrific. Goal, stunning goal, took that terrifically well. So overall for me, I gave Willock a 10 and man of the match.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Also big up him as well. So we got people Willock 10 and man of the match. I like coffee. Tangles a Burnley versus a new Keane and Vieira. I tell you what, I don't think anyone's going to beat Vieira against Keane in that era. Never. I can tell that right away. No way. But it's close. And let's go on to Joe Linton for you, Pete. Listen, he does get enough credit, right, wherever he plays, right? I mean, wherever he plays, he gets on with the job. He'll be disappointed not to make it a guitar. But performances like he did yesterday, pressing from the front, right, which you've never seen on Steve Bruce, right? And his tactical awareness, brilliant. And let me tell you something, right, with Joe Linton, he will get a Brazilian national call up, yeah. And that'll be next year for the Copa America, Pete. I mean, how do you think you do, mate?
He could do very well, but yes, fantastic yesterday from Joe Linton as well. He's just a machine out on that pitch now. He really, really is. And not to mention at the end of the game, he wanted to get Havertz. And I think Havertz's head would have been taken off if Joe Linton got involved with that. But luckily, then he got stopped. That's the only thing Joe Linton just needs to work on is his disciplinary in a way. But he's just been so brilliant. Again, credit Eddie Howe for getting the player for worth his value that were paid there for him. Definitely. I think I've got to go with a 10 for Joe Linton as well. It was just immense from him. Chelsea just couldn't handle him. They just really, really couldn't.
Wow. Big up to Joe Linton as well for a 10 out of 10. What's wrong with these 10 standies? I don't know.
Because we played well yesterday, John. That's why. And the player stepped up. And I mean, I did say to you last week, John, now Joe Willock's got his first goal against Southampton. He'll go on a scoring spree. And he got one yesterday. Now the World Cup breaks come. I think the World Cup break, some people say maybe at the wrong time. Maybe. But I say it's come at the right time. Because Botman's got an injury now. We'll get all these players fit again, ready to go back and start again on Boxing Day. So I think it's the right time to have the break now. And it gives our players a chance to get themselves back to where they are again. And gives them a rest. And also, nice that Eddie Howe's actually said to them they can have a couple of weeks off downtime so they can go and do stuff for their families and that before they come back and train.
Absolutely.
And the cup game as well. We've got to get ready for that, get prepared for that, which is just before when they restart.
Yeah. Carabao Cup, yeah.
Absolutely. Cenk, Madison, Diaby, January, summer, another winger, left back, centre back, and second young quality keeper. Lafont can be. It's got to be Lafont. We can force the European challenge and a title next season. Absolutely, Lafont would be amazing. The weird John says Apagetta. And last time I looked at the talent accident was awesome. I do go to Italy a lot, I haven't been this year because it's just things happening. But hey ho, Gen 10 for Joe Linton. If Joe Willock starts scoring on a regular basis, Newcastle will have one hell of a player. Not just that, we'd be very close to a title. Do you know what I mean? We've got to be Arsenal away. We've got them home and away and Man City away. That's going to be very difficult. Joe Linton's back to the great performance yesterday. It was solid. That's some Foxy. Who missed the penalty for Leicester yesterday? I have no idea.
Was it Tielemans, I think?
Tielemans.
It might have been. I'm not 100% off. I think it was Tielemans, I think.
Because I always say Tielemans, didn't I? But it's Tielemans. I tell you, that's another player I'll take at Newcastle 100%. Easy to score this week. The whole team gets a 10. Our class Champions League winning squad. We are pure class, and the Premier turns terrified of the monster Eddie is creating. Wow. I tell you what, though, this Chelsea team, especially midfield, is absolutely shocking. I can't lie. Havertz picking a fight with Burn, then see Shah and Joe Linton coming at him. I tell you what, when you got Shah 6'2" and Joe Linton 6'3", then you got a problem. Well, Havertz is a big unit as well, by the way. He's 6'2". So Joe Linton needs to keep that level consistent, and you have a chance for Copa America in 2024. Yes, sets him third ahead of Joe for the Brazil national. A shocking decision. And we still have Isak, Azam, and Madison to come. Madison, they haven't signed first yet, mate. So, and not yet. But I see what I mean. Big up to Chris, by the way. It's great to see you doing well and smashing the top four. Looking forward to the game on Boxing Day, but hopefully we'll bring you down to earth. I can dream. Well done, guys. Chris, you want us on your show, mate? For the preview, let us know, and then I'll come on, mate. You know what I mean? And I'm sure Leicester fans will love us as well when I'm on there. Even to you, Toons, I hope you're okay. And you got Tielemans from Tangy as well. Straight to play, ready to reply for these. Sean Longstaff. Who was the last one? Was it you, Pete? You gave 10 to Willock. So
I give Willock 10 and then Pete had Joe Linton.
Oh, no, back to you.
You gave him a 10, right? Cool. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you Bruno, Tony.
Bruno, he had a mixed game, didn't he? I mean, he played well in parts, and he had a couple of sloppy passes. Well, I wouldn't say sloppy passes, just too much weight on the pass. They weren't quite on tune as he's normally been with his passing. So that was a bit disappointing that his passes weren't weighted well enough. But other than that, he didn't do too bad. And Yeah, he did lose the ball at the edge of the box, but thankfully it didn't lead to anything because Pope saved from Gallagher. I'll give him an 8.
Okay, I mean, look, his passing wasn't the greatest as well, by the way. I'm not going to lie. He's very lucky not to get bumped as well. And it's the thing is, so in my opinion, I didn't think it was the best game for Newcastle. I would have given them 7 personally, but it's your decision, Tony. And
yeah,
love you lots, but keep your hands on Madison. Money talks, Chris. Money talks, mate. I missed the 4 Horsemen Deers. I do as well, but I was spoke to Paul about it yesterday, but he said that it's ran its course, unfortunately. 7 for Bruno. And if you do come in for him, don't try another buy now, pay later deals. Don't worry, it will be paid in full. And
we'll take Tielemans as well, mate.
Yes. Just look where we are in the league. 3rd. And that's the
if we put a decent offer in, Chris, we'll take Tielemans and Madison, mate.
Exactly. Let's go on to Sean Longstaff. For me, Pete, I mean, look, he got booked for his cynical tag later on. Is it his best performance? No. Does he give 100%? Yes, he does. He's well at the pace. I mean, look, I think the past games passed by a little bit, but he's slightly getting better. And what do you think of his performance yesterday?
Yeah, I was pleased with that. He's starting to get better now, which is what we like to see. It's just consistency, what we just want to see, because he can have a good game and then you'll have another game where he goes missing completely. But we're starting to see good performances from Sean Longstaff, so that is which is really pleasing. I think I'll go with an A for Longstaff. Again, really, really good for me yesterday.
Hey, well, Sean Longstaff, cool. Etiquette or Ekitiki, great goal for PSG at dear. And wait till the end of the season when you're in the Champions League and you'll get Tielemans. And now I've got a feeling, great to see Tielemans, for Newcastle, but I think he'll end up going abroad. That's just my guess. I could be wrong. I think he'll go abroad. Where I
don't put a bet on it, John.
I'm not going to, yeah.
It'll cost you £100 again.
Wow. There you go. Yeah, but I got stunned, didn't I? But it was worth the money. It was worth it. But let's go on to the next one. Let's go straight to Miggy. For you, Tony, Miggy, led by example, got an assist, gave everything all the time. He gave Hall nightmares all evening, pretty much. And I tell you what, I thought he stepped up.
Yeah, he had a great game yesterday, Mickey. I mean, unlucky with that shot in the first half, which went over the bar. But, can't expect him to keep scoring every game. Although I would love to have seen him score 2 yesterday to get double figures. But that will come by the end of the new year. Or by the end of this year, I should say, into the new year. But, I thought he played well. He helped. It was his run and he sort of helped Joe Willock score that goal as well. So, I thought he had a great game all around, Miggy. So I'll give him a 9.
9 out of 10 for Miggy. And I'm going to give you Chris Wood. Pete, look, don't get us wrong. He had a good chance as well. He had a good chance, so he just failed to get at the end of it as well. And look, what do you give him? I mean, he's real impressive for the front, but at the end of the day, he's just that ability and a cutting edge as well. And he's taken off after 70. Personally, I would have took him off half time, in my opinion. What do you think?
I mean, in terms of chances, not many, but what I did like is he was pressing, particularly when he was trying to charge down Mendy for the ball. That's what I liked what he was doing yesterday, Chris Wood. I really like that from Chris Wood. Going to the keeper to put him under a bit of pressure because Mendy has been error prone this season for Chelsea. No doubt about that. He really, really has. So I was really happy with Chris Wood's performance for that. Just the other stuff is where is the letdown. That's the only thing. But you know what? I'll give Chris Wood a 7. I thought because of his pressing, particularly going towards Mendy to try and put lots of pressure on him.
7 out of 10 for Chris Wood. And Christmas a la coffee, 10 for Miggy. When I saw that Willock goal, I instantly thought that's the kind of goal that wins cup finals. Tangi, you're absolutely right. Can see Tielemans going to Napoli, Juve. And I think he'd be suited for Italian football. I think he'd be brilliant wherever he goes. Got to go, guys. Good luck. Book up and good luck for the rest of the season. Aston 20th of December. Chris, thank you very much indeed. We love you. We do love you, man. Great guy. Been on his channel a couple more times. Bruno wasn't on this day, which is very normal. One of the reasons we need another quality midfielder and we can rotate players around. If Bruno's not playing good or injured, we don't have a plan B. Madison would be perfect for that role as well. Chris Wood, 9 out of 10. Wow. Okay, 9 out of 10. Great game from Miggy Aimiron, 10 out of 10. And wasn't Willock goal similar to Shiraz volley? Wow, he just placed it. Shearer just blasted it, didn't he? Newcastle was great at pressing. Chelsea were great at the pressing. I love it. I love it, man. I love it. Let's go on to the substitutes. Callum Wilson, Pete.
It's Tony, back to Tony. I've just done
Tony,
one there.
Tony.
Yeah. Well, he came on the 73rd minute. You know, he was close to having a chance to get a second goal. But other than that, I think it was just giving him a few minutes on the pitch and didn't have a lot to do, really, did he? So, and this is not me being awful or anything. I've got to see a 6 for Wilson because he wasn't really on long enough to affect the game, and he didn't have a lot to do apart from nearly have that one where he nearly had the second goal. But other than that, he didn't really do a lot. So, I would say, 6 for Wilson.
And Jose Mourinho's got sent off again for Roma. When will he learn? When will he learn, man?
What's he done this time?
Don't know what he's done this time, but went straight to the referee again by the looks of it. So that doesn't look good, doesn't it, people? So he is.
Who's been sent off, John?
Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho.
Oh, Mourinho. Oh, yeah. Oh, but what? There's not a surprise there. That one, is there?
Nah, not at all. Not at all. What can I say, man? Not the best.
Man of his experience should learn. He should be, he's not a young kid anymore.
Exactly. Totally agree. But I tell you what, though, that's Jose all over, isn't it? And Foxy and Wilson 6, Murphy 7, target 6. Wilson then 8. Mate, I love you, but 8 out of 10.
God, not long enough to give it that.
Nah, not good. Looks like Tanji said, Graham Potter, I'm not happy with somebody said. He stayed in Newcastle only playing one game a week. We spoke about it earlier on in the show. They have the luxury when Chelsea played Arsenal, Man United, Man City, boycott continue. Then played 2 to 3 games a week, and Chelsea still sour grapes. Question, was it a pen? It was a penalty. Well, I don't think it was, looking back. Roma scored in the last minute. Eagles games one is season's fallen apart for them lately. Tammy Port yet again. So let's go on to Jacob Murphy. Tony.
I mean, he came on and again didn't have a lot to do, did he? Standard 5.
Standard 5. And Pete, target.
Yeah, same 5, not long enough for me.
Fair enough. And let's go to the Eddie Howe. I'll give you Tony.
Eddie Howe, fantastic again. Got the game plan right, the pressing and the intensity. If you watch it more and more, I mean, we've got players on their defenders, we've got players on their midfielders, and if they pass it, if like yesterday it went from their defence to their midfield, but then as soon as the midfield went to pass it, Joe Linton was on it and had it. So they just can't cope with it, and they couldn't cope with it yesterday. Eddie got his tactics spot on. Obviously, Wilson was on the bench because he was still feeling the effects of that cold or flu or whatever he's had. I give Eddie a 10 because it's another scalp against the big 6. Oh, yes. Sorry, John, the so-called big 6, because he ain't a big 6 no more. That's for sure.
No, it's not.
A new kid on the block. A new kid on the block, and it's this kid on the block.
Yes, totally agree. Totally agree. Let's go on to the comments as well. Murphy 7 for pushing Havertz away from Burn. He's jealous tonight. He's 6 out of 10. If you think it was not a pen, would you still be saying no pen if the game had finished a draw?
Still no pen. Nah, still not a pen.
Nah, definitely 9 for Eddie Howe. Pete, I'm going to give you the fans.
Oh, it's got to be a 10 for the fans as always. You know what we're like on a match day. Simple as that, particularly with the war flags waving about as well. It's just absolutely sensational. It just always is. Sag our hearts out from start to finish. 10 easily.
Big up, big 10 out of 10. And go for, I heard Chelsea fans saying they're playing like a mid-table team, but they are mid-table at the minute. They are indeed. I think that club needs fixing up very, very quickly. No such thing as a big 6. It's the big 2, Newcastle and Man City. It will be in future years. 10 out of 10 for fans. And like Potter, he's under pressure. So naturally, make comments for reasons why they lost. Hope he gets more time. I do as well. Always thought he would. We get Liam Brighton, but money talks at the end of the day. Exactly. Let's go on to Coffee Murphy gets man's 5 comments in a bit. It's not a new kid on the block. It's an old favourite back in town. That's from Toon. Everything goes perfectly brilliant at the main. The Newcastle. Congratulations, everyone, manager, players, fans. I don't want to criticise, but really, guys, Chris Wood and Murphy are not good enough. They're not going to get us a title, by the way, or top 4 in future years. But at the minute, they're part of it. But Chris is not going to get us 20 goals, and Jake's not going to get us 10 goals. That's offside call was wrong in the first half.
It was.
I've seen that.
Trippier weren't offside. It was Shalabah played him on with his foot.
He did. It would have been checked on far any sort of thing if that goal went in, by the way, I can tell you. Tony, last but not least, the referee.
Where do you want me to start, Johnny? Was shit. Basically, was John. He was absolutely awful. I mean, he was just useless. I've got nothing good to say about him because the only good thing he did was blow the full-time whistle. Although he was still trying to play on a bit. But yeah, I just thought he got his decisions wrong. I thought the 7 minutes injury time was wrong as well, where all that came from. He lost control at the end of the game when Havertz started the fight on the pitch and started getting involved. And if he had a pair of balls, he may have got some yellow cards out. But by the looks of things, he didn't get any yellow cards out. So for me, Robert Jones gets a 2.
I would give him a 0, to be honest with you. I wouldn't give him a straight 0.
Well, I was going to. I just thought it'd be nice to give him a 2.
You're a bit generous there, Tony. You're very generous, man.
I'm very generous. What would you give him?
Well, it's your ratings, by the way. I'll give you that.
But we got the goal, John. So, I mean, like I say, you'd only get the 2 because he blew the full-time whistle before the issue.
Yeah. Or I'll give him a 1 because you got the shirt the right way around.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's probably had his Liverpool shirt on underneath.
Probably. Probably. Or Jurgen Klopp must have given him a backhand.
I'll tell you what it is, John.
Yeah.
Ivan Toney's just stuck 2 fingers up to Southgate, by the way, because
rightly so.
Yesterday scored 2 goals against City.
Yeah. And
do you know why he was doing that celebration as if to say to Southgate, I can't hear you? And it was a dig at Southgate.
Exactly.
And there is a rumour going around. Southgate says he'll never be picked again under him.
Oh.
No.
That's a rumour I've heard. I don't know how true it is, but apparently Southgate knew what that celebration was all about. And he said, as long as I'm manager, Ivan Toney won't get in the England squad again.
I think Gareth Southgate should be worried about his own position anyway. He don't start winning the World Cup. He'd be gone before that anyway. Yeah. He'd be gone before Tony.
That's only something I saw, John, earlier. But whether it's true or not, I don't know. It might not be. It might just be somebody talking it up or whatever. But I can't imagine Southgate saying that. But if he has said that, then that's bloody poor if he has. But I hope he hasn't said that because Ivan Toney should be in that England squad ahead of Marcus Manchester United Rashford because Marcus Rashford is not that great. Ivan Toney is the far better player this season than Rashford is. And I'm sorry, Rashford shouldn't be in there.
100%, man. 100%. Because you talk about players by form, right? Rashford hasn't really been on form. Ivan Toney has. Do you know what I mean? Simple as that. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Again,
You like to fall now again.
it's fair, but funny because he plays for United. Yeah. And Ivan Toney plays for Little Brentford. Wow. Oh, man. He better start well. That's what I'm going to say on Southgate. Garen Krul scored a goal. Did you see? I saw one of the goals. Oh, my God. What a finish, man. On a cute angle. Beautiful. Jurgen Klopp was full fisher when he put balls for up to 7 minutes. I would be surprised. Ref tried his best in the last 10 to rescue Chelsea. Southgate won't last off the World Cup. Don't worry, Ivan Toney. I thought Tony's celebration was saying Southgate has big ears. We're seeing as Southgate's getting sacked to the World Cup, it doesn't really matter what he says exactly. John, are you going to let Tony talk like about your Rashford? Not my Rashford. And big ears. There you go.
Right,
guys,
John.
going to wrap up. Go on.
Right, I'm going to just put a stat out here for you, okay? Right?
Yeah.
So you pick players for the England team on form, right? So Marcus Rashford, 14 games, 4 goals. Ivan Toney, 14 games, 10 goals. Who's the player on form? Because it certainly isn't Rashford. 10 goals in 14 Premier League games, and you can't get in the World Cup squad. I'm sorry, he would. If that wasn't another country, he would be. If he played for another country, he'd be walking into their team.
100%. Because I think Ivan Toney's having a cracking season again. He really is. And you know what it is, right? I mean, thinking Rashford because he's a name. That's all it is. No disrespect to Man United, end of the day, but he's not had a good season. He hasn't. So I know just what's going on. But I don't know what to say, man. But I think Gareth Southgate's playing for the sack. That's what he's trying to do. He said, you know what? I'm going to pick the same players. I don't care if I get sacked. I'm going to get paid off. Happy days. I let the new manager come in. Hopefully, that New England manager's not Eddie Howe. Let's be honest. I really
No,
don't.
it won't be.
It will not be Eddie Howe.
And he's already ruled himself out, John. He's already said he likes the day-to-day run of a club. He couldn't do international management. He says maybe a long time down the lane that is, but not at the minute because why does he want to stay at home for 6 months of the year waiting for another game to come around? Eddie likes the day-to-day business and he likes to get out there on the training ground and then, you know, at the end of it, the end of the week, he's got a game coming up where for England, you've just got to go around the country looking at players. I would love to see Potter get sacked from Chelsea because I would love to see it happen. I think it would be absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's another place on form in a minute. So he plays Serie A, Lookman as well. That guy's been absolutely brilliant for Atalanta. He's on the season on loan at Leicester. Why is he not being picked for given a chance for England? I think this guy is brilliant. He really is. He has been a revelation. And so, his team lost today at home by Inter by 3-2. Thank you all. Have a good evening. And you, Gav, as well. Love you, man. Hi to Clarky. Hope you're okay. He's not really thinks I'm a United fan. Bless him. Yeah, I think the only reason Rashford gets picked is because he can play wide as well, whereas Toney is only really on number 9. That is from Foxy. And Clarky said, too busy worrying about these free school meals, referring to Mr. Rashford as well. I think that's going to come to the end of the show there, lads. And thanks, guys, for coming on again as usual. It's been amazing. And Pete, where can I find you, my guy, on your socials so people don't know?
It's PD Proudlock. YouTube, PD Proudlock, feel free to subscribe. I'll be live at 8:30 for my match review and play ratings. So get tuned in. And of course, Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram, they're all PD Product as well. So feel free to give me a follow.
Check Pete's channel out as well. He has some fun as well. And he is a top YouTuber as well. Deserves more subscribers. And Tony, talking about getting more subscribers, where can we find you on socials, mate?
Yeah. So you can find me down there at Tony31. Give me a follow and I'll follow you back. And also, you can find me and you can see behind me on my screen at the back there. It's all black and white TV. So please feel free to have a look. It's not going too bad at the moment. And the watch has gone up a bit. And for everybody who subscribed so far, thank you very much. And yeah, just watch out for some more great content coming up because there's a lot more to come up on that. And like I said, on the 21st November, I'm off, so I'll be watching the England-Iran game. So I will be doing a warm-up show for that. I'll be doing a half-time analysis, and then I'll do a reaction probably later on in the evening for that game as well. So keep an eye out for that one.
Thank you very much indeed, Tony. Check it out for that one. Got some more comments as well. Clocky Tube as well about Feasels read that. Foxy saying, look, Mum plays in Nigeria, mate. Thanks, I thought you played for England, but thank you, man. Eddie Howe, when upon his manager, was having doubts, but now everything's changed. What he's done for this team and keep doing what you should keep in longer years, he could be our new Alex Ferguson, quite possibly. Bye to you, I have a coffee, have a good evening, mate. Big up to Mikey Mag, hope you're okay, mate. Great show, John. Thank you, Chris. Having a feeling we lose to Maury soon at Canada if we continue to overlook him. Wow, that's new. That is really, really new. That could be a possibility. Losing to Canada, that'd be embarrassing for England because Tomori is a champion, AC Milan, and he's a damn good defender. He really is.
He has another question, John. Has England lost out on another right back? Because I know we've got Trippier, right? So Trippier, to me, is number one right back. And I know Trent and Alexander-Arnold's in there, even though he's not a bloody right back, to be fair. Do you think England missed out on a right back? That's gone to Poland, Matty Cash.
Yeah, quite possibly. But he's a decent right back, by the way. I mean, they allowed him to go to Poland. He's got Polish dad or something like that. But one thing I'm going to say as well, he's a decent defender, decent right back. He really is. But I think he missed out on him. He just wasn't given a chance at all whatsoever. But again, if you don't give these young English players a chance, then that's what's going to happen, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So it's a shame. It's a shame. But
see, we lost Muslera to Germany because you didn't think you get an England team, so that's why you went and joined the German team.
Absolutely. But again, we got a lot of English talent, but they just pick their favourites. When you pick your favourites, that's exactly what happens, people. Do you know what I mean? It is ridiculous. Between Poland and Mexico, who would get through Group C? Out of the two, I would just say Mexico. I think Mexico's got better players than Poland anyway, to be fair. I think they got everything, a Sandal as well. And if he gets going, then I think he's a cracking player. He really is. Plays in Napoli. But Poland under Lewandowski, anything can happen. But you got one world-class player. Have they got a world-class back four? The answer to that is no. But still. Guys, going to wrap up that, by the way, guys. But thanks so much indeed. If you'd like to follow us on social media, it's John Sinclair TV, which is on Twitch, which is on also Facebook, also here on YouTube. And if you'd like to follow us on Insta, it's John Sinclair 50. If you'd like to follow us on social media, it's John_NUFC42. And if you like the channel, like what you see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. Super chats through the thanks option is open. Also, if you like to become a member, then click on the join buttons, 99p. The Clone Lad, thank you very much indeed for becoming the latest member, my guy. And I should be doing the half-term player ratings tomorrow at 7:15. I'll surely be 9s and 10s flying a boot as well. Around about 25, 26 players will be going through. I'm going to try and get Roy to come on me show at the mouth if I can. And listen, thanks so much for coming on, guys. And I shall see you very, very soon. Thanks, Clarky. And I'll see you in a bit. Take care and goodbye.